Who wants to start? You want to start? I want to start. Someone wants to.
Are we not doing introductions?
No, we're gonna go straight in.
Okay.
Giggity.
Well, heads or tails?
Heads.
Giggity.
You can go either way with that.
It's heads. Go on.
Okay. This is gonna be so bad.
Clears throat background. Okay.
Okay.
Try to keep a straight face.
Do your best on that.
I can. Okay. Fan the face. Okay.
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 Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All I see is Christian's unruly mop as his head dips lower between my legs. His usual MO is to circle my clitoris with his slick, crackerjack tongue. But tonight, he's doing something different, and it's exquisite.
He presses his tongue flat against me and laughs at me with long strokes. He starts at the bottom and sweeps it up in lazy, even length. Every time he comes up, I catch his eyes blazing fire with pleasure and thick desire. Fire! As I always, the pleasure, it is right as he stops, he reconnects to me again. There, yes, right there! I get a 1,000-volt jolt straight to my core.
I moan, almost scream, as he flicks over my whole slit again. I so much want to grab his... Shh! You stop that over there.
I can't. Keep going.
I so much want to grab his head and force his tongue to stay on me and stop this maddening teasing. But both my wrists and ankles are tied to the bedpost. I buck my pelvis into his face, but his leisurely pace doesn't change. The heel of his right hand is firmly pressed down onto my pubic bone, creating a delicious pressure. Whoops. His left thumb is rubbing slow circles on my inner thigh, my whole being willing him to move it up just an inch and slip it inside.
I'm trying. I glimpse his rippling shoulder muscles, glistening with his perspiration in the dim light. He's so freaking hot. Oh, I'm close. He senses my quickening and two fingers slide roughly through my wetness and straight to my sweet spot. The other arm snakes up my body, where he pinches my nipple and twists violently. I shudder and groan in ecstasy, thrashing my head, about to detonate my release.
Holy fudge. My eyes fly open, and I jerk up on my torso, vaguely surprised that my restraints aren't holding me back. Where is Christian? My body is covered in sweat, and I'm breathing like I've run a marathon. I look around, confused. I'm alone, in my bedroom, in my apartment. My body's still weak, jittery from my grinding orgasm. Apparently induced by yesterday's events and my flaming hormones, finding an outlet the only way it knows how. In my dream.
How do you do that in a dream? That's my main question.
Dude, seriously, what? Oh no, I become weak. No,
Never.
not my sleep.
Never. No sleep! No! Never have I ever had a dream in Jack Dawes.
Seriously, that is a messed up dream.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I flop onto my bed, grab my pillow, and drag it over my face. I force in a deep breath and let out a primal shriek, kicking my legs wildly, giving into my childlike tantrum. Why would you throw a temper tantrum about this?
Because it made her weak somehow.
Anyway, the yell morphs into sobs and then hysterical giggles. Oh. Is she on her period?
I don't know.
This sounds like
Maybe.
this sounds like one of my friends who just I don't know. Anyway,
Could.
what am I going to do? My way forward, and it's completely blurred as a flashback of yesterday's events play through my rattled mind.
The picnic was amazing.
Picnic.
Christian was so gentle with Chris. He is such a kind and natural father.
And it turns
We
into-
left the park quite late, and Taylor drove us straight onto the tarmac of the Miami International Airport to board the Great Enterprises jet. By that time, Chris was exhausted. Christian gave him a quick tour, revealing in his innocent, awed excitement. He even let him sit with the pilot for a bit.
By takeoff, his eyelids were hanging heavy low. Christian bussed over him, strapping him securely into the reclined seat and covering him with a soft so that he could sleep. It tugged so hard at my heart that I had to look away at times, unable to watch how, after just one day, he was dotting on his son. The melancholy bled like blacking into water. Is this turning into incest?
I don't know, but probably. I mean, this is 50 Shades.
I know.
So I guess this was one of them. I don't know.
Who knows?
After a quick 40-minute flight, one of Christian's new men met us upon arrival in Savannah. Christian introduced him as Collins. He was a perfect Taylor clone, bristling with efficiency. I briefly brooded over what might have happened to Sawyer. I hoped that I wasn't the reason for his absence, that Christian didn't fire him for failing to stop my covert escape, but I was grateful that he wasn't the one to collect us. If Taylor was mad at me, how mad would Sawyer be?
Probably really pissed.
Oh, no joke.
Christian carried a sleeping... carried a sleep... What? What? Hold on.
Christian carried a sleeping Chris. Like, he's like probably a kid.
He's not a... Okay, then this is
Well,
turning
he
to
could be-
pedophilia.
I mean, he could just be sleeping, and he was like, okay, I'll take you to the car.
Okay. Christian carried a sleeping Chris from the plane straight into the booster seat, yet his child, of yet another waiting SUV. His sleepy eyes remained resolutely shut. I'm sorry, I'm breathing horribly. That's what a day of fresh air and excitement will do you when you're 4. Oh, wait, I read that wrong. Anyway. The thought had me smiling, warming my heart. Yep, she's pedophile.
Oh yeah. Collins drove to my mom's house without the aid of any directions from us and dropped her off. My subconscious took the opportunity to remind me that Christian was indeed the ultimate stalker, and I shrugged, undaunted. It's not like I didn't know.
Okay. I'm pretty sure she's got eyes on that child.
Oh yeah.
I give Mom a bear hug, and I felt her warmth along her as well wishes for me in our embrace. She knows how edgy I felt about Christian visiting our home.
The next stop was mine, and the churning in my belly told me exactly how anxious I really was. All too soon, Collins parked in front of my building and carried our bags up to the 4th floor. Christian lifted our son from the car and held him close, Chris's head resting on his broad shoulder.
In an effort to dispel my angst, I started jabbering as he walked. Even my own ears, I sounded very chipper as I told him about Joanne, the neighbor to the right of us. I mentioned that she had a son, the same age as Chris, and how they were best friends, like only children can be. I stumbled through a list of all the good things I could really tally about the building, that we have never had problems with crime, and it's well maintained. All the while feeling unreasonably defensive of the home I've made for us.
Okay, since this next one is like 2 sentences, I'll read 2.
Okay.
What will Christian think? The pressure was eating away at me. At the front door, I've fumbled clumsily with my keys, and wondered where the flowers I ordered were. I was expecting them to be waiting, ready to put me back on an even keel. Restore the balance.
Oh wait, keel. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Don't make fun of my reading prowess. I'm good at that. I'm good enough at making fun of myself.
At least it ain't Trevor.
Restore the balance of power between us, and maybe gain a clue to the depth of the God dang you.
I ain't gonna help you now. Don't look at me. You barked
Reticence
it.
about our relationship. Oh well. Nothing I can do about that now.
Collins placed our bags in the hallway, nodded his goodbye, and left to wait in the car.
I quickly made my way to Chris's room, with Christian tailing behind. I turned down his bed and closed the curtains. Christian laid him down ever so gently. He just stirred and turned onto his side. Still far away in the land of Nod, I pulled off his shoes, and Christian asked me if he could tuck him in and sit with him for a while.
Sure, I said, and smiled to hide another lump I had to swallow past. I scurried to the kitchen to do some deep breathing and find my collected self. I made a pot of tea and started on coffee for Christian when he joined me in the kitchen.
The atmosphere between us was awkward, and my conversation stilted. I cleared my throat, grumbling for something to say. Thank you for a lovely day, and for dropping us back home. I had my back turned to him, but I heard him pull out a chair, taking a seat at the cozy kitchen table.
You're welcome, Anastasia? Anastasia. Okay, cool. His tone was soft, hesitant, and I could feel his eyes burning into my back.
Oh dear. I joined him at the table as we nursed our drinks, staring at nothing. I lost in a maze of jumbled, hesitant thoughts. What's wrong, Anastasia? His index finger slipped under my chin as he lifted my gaze to meet his.
I closed my eyes for a beat and basked in a small point of contact between us. I sighed. I'm so confused, Christian. I answered him honestly and shook my head. I understand your reservations, why you turned me down. My look dipped down, studying my knotted fingers. I know how much it hurt, but why? I faltered, too coy to say it out loud.
In that moment, I seriously doubted my ability to read him. Maybe I had misread the signs. Why am I reading so poorly? And he scoffed at my presumption. I drew a blustering breath, mustering my courage as I squared my shoulders. Why are you so flirty with me? I locked into his eyes, pleasing him. You're leading me on, torturing me. I breathed, my face instantly blooming into a blush as I uttered the question that he's been nipping at my mind.
Anastasia. He began running a hand through his silky hair, and his gray look turned darker. I can't hide my attraction to you any more than you can hide yours from me. What's the point? He shrugged in resignation and continued. We both know it's there. We feel it all the time. He was still watching me closely, looking to read the responding cues on my face.
We torture each other. He leant back against the chairs, gaze still intent. It always been like that with us, his mouth set in an unsurprising line.
I started to shake my head no, but he interjected. You torture me by defying me, and I torture your body.
This is domestic violence.
Seriously?
Straight up. You torture me by defying me, and I torture your body! Slap! 5 across the ass! Slap, slap!
His head inclined to the side. The words tripped off. I think that's supposed to be off. The words tripped off his tongue in such a casual manner that he could have been talking about the weather.
But if that's how you feel, why can't we try? The pleading desperation in my voice was very thinly veiled. I stopped my heart and breath while I waited for his reply.
He snorted. I may not doubt your attraction to me, Anastasia. His brow quirked and offered me a pointed stare. But your long-term staying power? That's another story. His full mouth twisted into a wry smile, and he broke the lock of our eyes, the pain too close to the surface for him, while he shook his head, compounding his refusal even further.
It was like an icy wind that swept through my entire body, chilling as the blood drained from my veins. My heartbeat was suddenly sprinting. Was he saying that there was no hope for us? Ever?
A knock on the door made us both jump, and his brow shot up in surprise. I'm not expecting anyone. I quickly replied to the question his eyes held, my tone a little defensive and weary of the subtle anger I saw lurking there, I guess. And who was there? Read the rest of it yourself, because that's starting to get way too long.
Oh, yeah, we're lazy, and I'm tired.
And that's going to take so much to edit.
Yes.
Christ.
You two lovelies, don't forget to like and subscribe.
At least like our suffering.
Don't look at my channel yet. I have nothing on, so yeah, you know.
And see you guys in the next one.
Yay. Bye, pretty lovely.